Good evening. I'm Bruce Gale, and I'm the President of the Board of Appeals on Zoning. This is a regular meeting of the Board of Appeals on Zoning, and the board is composed of 6 private citizens appointed by the City Council. And you want to do roll call, which will introduce all of our people?
Nash.
Present.
Gale.
Here.
Jones-Webb.
Present.
Bush.
Here.
Orchard.
Here.
Helpap.
Here.
Everyone's present. We have a quorum.
The function of the board is to provide zoning flexibility. The action of the board can be an interpretation, which involves the interpretation of the zoning code, text, or a zoning district boundary. Or a variance, which is an appeal to vary from the strict application of the zoning code. The meeting is tape recorded. It is important that only one person speak at a time and the audience observe respect for the speaker. When the appeal in which you are interested in is called, please come forward to the podium and allow the board a moment to review the material while you give your name and address to the secretary. Let's go to the approval of minutes from March 1st meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
New business, case number J17-0016. It's a request for a variance to build a 6-foot-high open construction fence along 2 street lot lines at 302 Hess.
My name is Pastor Dennis Cotton Sr. I am the pastor of Life in Christ Ministries and also the director of Hearts for the Community. I stand before you for a variance for a 6-foot fence to our community park that we have, just for the safety of our children, and also it will provide beautification to our city as well. 6-foot fence would be ideal, so to keep our kids safe and also to keep vandalism out and things of that nature. Our park hours are for the summertime. We do have a Hearts for the Community program from the age group 5 to 18. We run a summer food program, and our park hours is 3 to 4 o'clock. After that, it'll be open for the community from 4 to 8. So,
Are you gonna have a garden?
excuse me,
You gonna have a garden in there?
a
Is
guidance.
that gonna be similar to the one, I think it's on 14th Street?
No, this,
James?
I think you're referring to where the playground is on Hess?
Yes,
Yeah, you got playground equipment in there now?
yes,
Yeah, but if you just want to get a fence around there,
yes,
so kids can't run in and out, or cars, or just for safety issues. It's
yes,
right at that corner, right?
yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Anybody have any questions for him other than that one?
I just have a question for staff. In the notes here, it mentioned distinguishing it as a park.
I can't hear you.
How does that work?
It's a park that's done by the nonprofit organization, and it takes in 2 lots at the corner, southeast corner of Russell and Hess. And so it's a private park. There'll be a 6-foot fence all the way around it, but on the street side, that's gonna be a wrought iron fence so that you'll be able to see through it and see into the park. And I believe the south side and the east side is gonna be a vinyl fence, also 6 feet. That protects it from the neighbors.
I think the question is,
Is-
how do you just say something's a park? This has nothing to do with you, we just want to know
Right.
for our interpretation.
It's a park as far as the private nonprofit is concerned.
Does the city have to designate that as a
No,
park?
the city only designates city parks.
Oh, so-
It's very similar to the one on Janes and Sixth that the
Right.
church
Yeah, right next to
did
the
there.
church, so that's a
Yeah,
park
that's
too.
a private park as well.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was just clarification on what we got in the packets. Your park versus White Park, you know, what's
Oh,
the difference?
okay.
We're just trying to get the interpretation of it.
Okay.
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 No other questions for Pastor? Did anybody else want to speak on this behalf? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Now, we need an affirmative of 2/3 or 4 votes necessary to be in favor of the appeal. The action of the board is final only, and relief is through the court. Is there any discussion on this matter?
I'll move first that in case 17-0016, that the request for variance of this, for 6-foot-high fence around the side streets of the park be granted.
I support. I'd like to also say, going by that park, you really need that fencing on Hess Street, or else somebody the kid can run in and out. There's a lot of traffic there, so I think I admire your program, what you're trying to do.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Case J17-0017, request for variance to allow an accessory building to be built without a primary structure at 2125 Cherry Street.
My name is Tom Wells. My address is 2244 Mershon Street in Saginaw. I'm just here before you today. My wife, if you have the sheet there, my wife and I have had a lifelong dream. In fact, we did this in Des Moines, Iowa, where we lived before, and I was working at a university, to have an urban farm in Saginaw. We've purchased around a 1.8 acre plot in the city. I've already been farming it. I had a large garden. I planted a tree orchard there, and then I've recently purchased, I'm in the process right now of purchasing another 0.2 acres that are connected to it on the other side of 2205 Cherry, so my lot is all kind of a large, one big piece. We're planning to build a smaller house on there over time, working with the Home Builders Association of Saginaw and Delta College. I teach math at Delta College to kind of try to get us some help with that, just because the cost to build is significantly higher than the value of the home in that area. So our long-term plans are to relocate there, but that's probably going to take us a year to two to get all that done with grant money, with donated materials, donated labor. You know, I'm working through different avenues. But in the meantime, we want to be able to continue the garden operation we're doing for our family right now. We just have, like I said, a large garden. We're going to do a small corn crop. We have a fruit and tree orchard. I've been developing the land. It's getting excavated this summer. The back area, we've already cleared the front area and used that already. We got strawberries, raspberries, blueberries out there. So this is a dream we've had, and it's just cost prohibitive and challenging. And so it's going to be a longer process, and the barn would just give us the ability to actually continue with the garden operation. Right now, it's very difficult because we have to haul everything back and forth, all our garden tools, all the lawnmower from my house on Mershon. I want a small tractor to mow and excavate and to plant in the back area, and I don't have anywhere to put that right now, so I ended up selling it. We originally had thought about doing this in Bloomfield Township, bought a piece of land, decided that we were more passionate about the city, so we sold that piece of land. We want to work in the city, so that's the Reader's Digest version. If you guys have questions or comments.
I went by here today, and it's really nice.
Okay.
My concern was that you need a fence. You got those trees you just planted, you need a fence around it, because I can see teenagers in the middle of the night just trashing that, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much it's gonna cost you or anything, but are those trees, they're gonna be like cherry trees or something when they get 20 or 30 years old or something?
Yeah, I've got Right now, out there, I have 2 pears, 2 cherries, 2 peach, 2 apple.
That's nice.
And they're all dwarf trees, if you know, 'cause they're not gonna be huge. But they're in,
And there's a lot of people in that community that are used to community gardening. you
yeah.
know, So
Yeah.
that's good too.
And I've actually got a couple community gardens on there that I till for the neighbors, and they use it.
I might want to go to the churches and have them announce, and
Yeah.
if they see any activity that's not right, you know.
Yeah, and I've developed a good relationship with all the neighbors, and they kind of watch out for me
Okay,
too,
okay,
as
that's
well,
good.
so. They've actually told me sometimes that somebody came and stole my garden hoe, or somebody, you know, so I have some people watching out for me there now.
I did receive 2 calls on this case. One just asked what was going on, why did I get the postcard, and the other one, the man said that he knew Tom and that he was in favor of what he wanted to do.
How long will it be before you get a principal building on the property?
I would say, you know, I hate to make a promise beyond 2 years, but I'd say 1 to 2 years. I mean, the goal was to start this summer, but it's just gonna take longer because Delta College and the Home Builders Association are, as you can imagine, you guys have probably all worked in the grant world a little bit and nonprofit grants and different things. It's a slow-moving process to apply, to get approval, we're working at Delta College through what are the implications if I'm a faculty, you know, and we're doing this project. And so I would say 1 year to 2 years, and then if we're not able to do it faster than that, then there's a couple other options that I have. That would be to purchase one of the houses on the property now, adjacent to it, and remodel it. So that would be another option. That's the second best option in my mind.
Right.
But that is that's an option. I mean, our plan is to move in there either way, whichever way we find to do it.
Your building is basically a, what do you call those things?
Yeah,
Pole
it'll
barn.
Hold on, yeah.
Right.
probably be
Okay.
a garage more,
Yeah,
I'll probably do it
right.
more garage style, so it kind of doesn't.
30 by 30.
30 by 30,
Yeah.
like a 2.5 car garage
Right, okay.
is roughly the size of it.
And like you say, it's mainly for your implements and stuff.
Yep, yep. And I'll do starter plants in there and some things like that as well, just because I'll put some windows in it so I can do my starter plants inside of it early in the season.
Oh, okay.
You know, for the growing, you know, we do our starter plants in our house right now, but we have quite a few of them. It takes up a lot of space. I'll probably move those into there.
And then when you get into your house, it's not a rush once you have this building built. Am I correct there, or?
Technically not a rush, but
But you wish.
we're in a hurry to get there, I guess,
Right.
but yeah, technically I'd say no. We're fixing to sell our house ASAP and planning to actually move into an apartment till we're able to build.
Okay.
We're looking at moving to the Bancroft because it's closer, temporarily.
Nice bar, too.
What's that?
You might want to get a hold of Michigan State Extension to work with you too, because they do a lot of that
Yep.
during
We're,
the summer.
through Delta, I'm actually already connected to their urban
Okay.
planning
yeah.
and farming
Yeah.
people as well.
Any questions other than what we've asked?
Yeah, I have one question for staff. So this is for staff. So, most of the time when we grant a variance like this, isn't there like a period of time that's less than 2 years?
Well,
We'd have to word it in such a way that is, we're rezoning it for a future situation, correct?
Well, you're not rezoning.
I mean, where you're given a
Given
variance.
the variance for it. You could word it that the accessory building, the garage would go up this year,
Yeah, you could set a time limit on when you want.
and that the house or the principal structure would need to be built within 2 years. You could word it that way.
Unless you come back for another variance.
Well, I'll come back.
Well, he wouldn't need a variance for the house, it's just,
Oh, okay.
For the structure, though.
But the structure, we can put 1 year, is that correct?
But he might not have his financing done at that time.
I know.
Then would he have to come back for another variance?
if you wanted to word it that way, you could, if the house wasn't built within a year or 2 years, whatever time frame you want.
But that's not the variance. The variance is on the building, am I not correct?
Right, but with the promise that the other structure will be built.
Okay,
So-
yeah.
Because then what would happen if I built the garage and then I didn't meet the timeline that you guys set
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
On the
That's-
house?
on the house?
The timeline isn't important on the house, is
Well,
it?
yeah, it would be, because that's
That's a big
why,
part.
that's part of the reason you would be granting the
Okay,
variance.
I follow the reason there, yeah.
It's a condition.
Okay, do I have a motion of any kind?
I make a motion that we grant the variance,
With those
the
stipulations?
stipulations as stated here.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it.
So what's the official,
The official, now let me make sure that
I just want to know what
I've
the
got
official thing is.
that you will build the accessory structure this year, the pole barn.
Okay.
And that within 2 years, the house must be built, or that you own an adjoining house that's adjoining the property that's there.
So that would be acceptable?
Yes.
Okay.
Or that a new house is constructed, and if none of those things happen within 2 years, you need to come back to this board.
Right,
Is that what,
Exactly.
yeah.
Right.
So I have the choice to purchase an adjoining house
Yes.
or build a new one?
Right.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Okay.
It's a win-win situation.
Thank you.
Oh,
Good luck to you.
And those grants are easy to get. My wife does that. No, I'm kidding. For the CAN Council for Abuse and Neglect of Children. She's the extortionist over there.
I used to write a lot of.
She's the one that
grants.
has to raise the money.
I went to grant writing classes.
Oh, yeah, she's happy
Michigan
class.
State, and I.
She had to do 7 of them in April, and April's their big month with the pinwheels and,
Is that the CAN Council?
yeah,
Okay, yeah. That's cool.
oh, yeah.
Well, thank you all.
Good night.
Good night. Good luck too, by the way.
Thanks.
Appreciate what you're doing, actually. Where in town is it?
Pardon?
Chair, what street is it?
What's it, Cross Street? It's not on the map. I didn't see.
oh, it isn't on the map, it's, I want to say 14th, maybe?
Doing those in Detroit, those are.
I drove my bicycle right around there.
You couldn't have missed it because it's got all these,
They're doing a lot of them.
you know, like where those little
Yeah.
starter trees are. You got a bunch of white,
Yeah.
I'm ready for adjournment if anybody else is.
I'll move. I support.
All in favor?